promised, I really wanted to talk about this topic with you because a lot of people have been bringing it up on our platform, and also sisters who I've had the chance to speak to, they're also bringing up this topic. And what is that topic? That topic is living with PCOS around people who do not understand PCOS. So, of course, we all deal with this to some extent, and we do have people around us who support us, who look out for us, who are caring for us, but I don't think there is any one of us who has someone who completely understands PCOS and is completely aware of all of the different symptoms that come along with it. And of course, this is really, really very hard. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to talk about people who have absolutely no one for support, people who may even be kind of ashamed about their symptoms, even by people close to them, like such as even family, partners, all that kind of stuff, and how to deal with that kind of negativity around you living with PCOS, and how to prevent that from getting to you mentally. And this is quite a complicated topic, and this is something that is different for every single person. Now, one thing I think that you need to think about first and foremost is that nobody has the right to comment on your health, on your appearance, on the fact that whether you, for example, if I say I am tired and I'm exhausted, then nobody else has the right to say that no, you're not exhausted, or no, you do not have the right to be exhausted, because I'm the one who feels that symptom. And same goes for me. I don't have any right to tell someone else that the particular symptoms that they're feeling are not real. So, of course, from time to time, I get this too, why are you feeling tired all the time? Why are you feeling sleepy all the time? It has happened to me in the past. Now, what happens here is that you need to create very, very strong boundaries. This takes time, this takes effort, and this does take some mental work. Now, what are boundaries? Boundaries are, just like the name sounds, they are your personal boundaries that you do not allow anybody else to cross, and they should be non-negotiable for you, that there should be no one who can cross that boundary, no matter how close that person is to you. For example, I'll give you an example of a boundary. Someone checks my phone, even if that's my partner, that's my mum, then that's crossing my boundary, and I do not allow anybody else to do that. So that's something that's really important for you to establish. When someone says something about you, whether it's, for example, it's something negative, they're fat shaming you, or they're shaming you about any kind of symptom, they're shaming you about your exhaustion, when you stay silent, then that means that you are not in the right mental spot. You need to be firm. I know this is very hard, but it will take practice. I know you will get there, and once you form this boundary, I promise you, you will feel a lot better. So you need to create that boundary where you are telling the other person, no, I'm afraid you do not have the right to comment on my symptoms, and I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. And trust me, when you do that over and over again, that person will know that they're not allowed to cross that boundary, and they will ultimately stop. So that's really important, and boundaries are not given enough importance and not talked about enough, and they are so important for your mental health. Some of you may have gone through the stress module, and in the stress module I do talk about this, where you need to manage your stress, to manage PCOS effectively. And when you create boundaries and you don't have people who are crossing those boundaries, then you're not letting that negativity come to you. Okay, now I've talked about boundaries. Next, I want to talk about some other thoughts that I have about this particular topic. Now, personally, when I have someone who does not understand my symptoms, of course there is a little pang in my heart where I feel I wish they understood what I'm going through. I wish they understood how hard these symptoms are, and they supported me. But this is not always the case, and we don't always get people like that. Then immediately I know that I have this sister community to turn to, and I know that all of you are going through exactly the same thing. And when I read some of your stories, some of the stories in our online community, then I automatically feel like I'm not alone, and this disease is real, whether or not other people want to believe it or not. And you being part of this platform, you know that all of the symptoms that you have are scientifically backed. You're not thinking about, you're not just imagining them. Even if you're having forgetfulness, you're feeling tired, you're not getting enough sleep, then those are all part of PCOS, and they are not your fault. And ultimately, PCOS is not your fault at all. You know, PCOS develops in your womb and you have no control over that. So never think that this is your fault. You do not need to feel guilty. And if someone else is commenting on your particular insecurities which come with your PCOS symptoms, then I believe that person has their own insecurities. I want you to think for a second. Do you know of anyone who is perfect? Is there anyone you know who you feel is perfect? You might even think that you do know some people, but I can tell you 100% that people whom you even think are perfect are not perfect. Nobody in this world is perfect. Those people who do not have PCOS and you think they're perfect, they have their own individual struggles. Of course, PCOS comes with its own struggles. You need to understand this is your struggle, this is your battle, and you're not going to allow anyone else to influence you in that battle that you have. I know that battling PCOS emotionally around other people, feeling lonely, can be very, very tense. So what I encourage you to do is, for example, we have this new platform, the PCOS Revolution. We have it on an app. The number one feature where I really wanted to basically launch this app as soon as possible is that you can chat to other people, you can chat to me, and whenever you feel like something is getting to you, even getting that off your chest, have a rant, post it in the group. Find someone else, a sister buddy that you will share that to. Try and make online friends in this community. Go ahead and message them, tell them that this is what you're going through, and then they can tell you when they're having a bad day, and you can give each other words of encouragement. So when you have support, that can really make things a lot easier. So my last step, I guess I could say, not step, strategy that you can adopt when you're trying to battle PCOS emotionally, when you're trying to live with PCOS surrounded by negativity, is that working with a therapist. I know there's a lot of stigma surrounding this in all communities still, but I'm glad that we are getting more and more open about seeing a therapist about our mental health. So I highly recommend choosing an online service and seeing a therapist. You don't even have to step out of your home, and just speaking to a therapist even fortnightly can really help reduce that burden that you have. And I just want to finish this video by telling you that you guys are all so strong. You know, sometimes I read some of your stories and I feel like I'm going to tear up, and I do tear up, and I just I feel like I need to do as much as I can to help you out, and I'm trying to put out content there that is going to help you in every way possible, and you guys are all doing an amazing job. One last thing I also want to say is that, like I said, that people aren't perfect. I am not perfect either. You might think of me as the PCOS nutritionist. She knows a lot about PCOS. She's perfect. She's managing PCOS really well. Well, I want you to know that we all fall off the wagon, and I have a lot of bad days where I'm exhausted, where I just feel like I'm going to fall asleep standing because I'm having such busy days. Of course, I'm using my knowledge, my expertise to help you guys, but I'm still a PCOS sufferer. I still have those days when I will tell someone that I'm exhausted, or you know, I've lost my period due to this month me being under a lot of stress, and they will say to me, oh, that can't happen, you know, you can't lose your period because of stress, that's really strange. And then I feel bad too, but then I always use the tools that I have on hand, and I have worked to make myself that level of mentally strong that I don't allow those things to get to me too much. And sometimes they do get to me, sometimes I do have a bit of a cry, but for the most part I'm okay, and I'm really enjoying being part of the sister community. Tell me in the comments below what other kind of videos you want to see from me, and I really hope you found this video helpful. Bye.